Hi everyone, it's Joe. Welcome back to another ramble. It is Thursday, December 4th at 10:49 p.m. Here's hoping people aren't noisy. If they are, as per usual, I will pause and adjust as need be. And here's hoping my air conditioner doesn't be noisy either. So anyway, actually, give me 1 sec. I am going to mess with my AC. I will be right back. Alrighty, it was making a weird noise, so I went and messed with the temperature, and I hope that stops the odd noises I've been hearing recently. Anyway, so first things first. Let's see. So it's Thursday. So, after the ramble last night, what did I do? I know I watched Shin Bang Sheldon, and I think I logged into DBD for the reward. But aside from that, I think I went to bed relatively soon after I finished. Why is my sweet mate so loud? Like, actually. Alright. Here's hoping that's not picking up on here. So anyway, let's get into the today's stuff. Oh, also, big news. I don't know if it was today or yesterday that it happened, and I also don't know what video it came from. We hit 20 subscribers. That's big number. I mean, every number we've gotten up to, in my opinion, is big number, but that's 20. That's like big number. So whoever you are, number 20, thank you very much. I hope you stick around for the content, and all of you, thank you for all of your support up until this point. I had zero idea we would get this many. I thought for sure it would be like 3 forever. Although at one point I think we went from 3 to 2, so realistically I thought it would be 2 forever after that. But here we are. So I woke up today at 6:30. I'm trying to start waking up earlier. Even if I wake up and then just lay there, I'm practicing just like waking up earlier now. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, I was like really worried about my heater AC noise. I don't think it's too bad, but just in case, I'm gonna scoot a little further away from it. Then again, it's not a very big room, so not like it helps that much. So I woke up at 6:30, and then I ended up laying in bed until like 8:40. But I laid there and watched Young Sheldon. I swear I'm almost done. I'm like getting closer to the end of season 6, and then I'm on the last season, and I will talk about something else. I promise. Maybe I'll get a new addiction to talk about. So I got up, I got dressed, and then I went to my science class where we learned about streams and floods, which I taught myself last night. So I'm not gonna lie, it was a very boring lecture. And then we did like an activity that as long as you were present, you got full credit. So after that, I came back here and just hung out for like 30-40 minutes. I put in a maintenance request because my door needed new batteries, which I now have. I threw out my box from Amazon that came in yesterday, and then my package that was supposed to be here today got delayed again. It's not. Now it's saying it'll be tomorrow, and tomorrow the exfoliation stuff's supposed to be here too, which means now if the package that was supposed to be here today shows up tomorrow, that means I've got 2 boxes to deal with. What fun this is. And plus my socks, like, they finally have a shipping label made for them, but beyond that, it's like, I don't even think they've moved, but at least I learned that I can somehow make them hold the package. So, at about, honestly, it might have been like 12:20, I headed out of here, and I drove to the library, cafe area because I was supposed to meet with this lady at 1. So I picked a spot, and I took pictures of where I was sitting, and I texted my mom. I'm like, it's 12:37. I'm sitting right here. I'm here. I'm present. Like, because I didn't think that she was going to show up, or I figured she would show up and she'd miss me completely and then say that I never showed up. So I'm keeping her updated at, like, 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, she's not here. And then right after I sent that, the lady sent an email that was like, I'm running late. I'll be there soon. So I even told my mom the other day, I was like, how's she going to know what I look like? Like, how's she going to find me? Because I don't know what she looks like. She didn't know what I looked like. And she's like, oh, well, I think she's used to working with people with disabilities. So maybe she'll see your chair or something, and she'll profile you and take a guess that it's you and come over. And I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there, and it was, I don't know, 1:15-ish. And this lady walked in who, like, did not belong. I could just, like, from the vibe. So she's pacing around, and she's over in this other seating area. And, like, I'm just watching at this point. She's pacing around, and she gets on her phone, and she's looking around. She's walking around, looking around. And, like, finally she looks at me, and she walks over, and she looks at me, and she goes, yeah, I was just on the phone with your mom. So evidently, she called the number that she thought was mine, ended up being my mom, and was like, I can't find your child. Like, how am I supposed to know what they look like? I don't know. And my mom, she told me, she's like, yeah, I'm standing here face palming over the phone. Like, this is exactly what you said would happen. And I'm like, I know. So we ended up having our meeting, and she asked for all this information. I'm not going to get into specifics, but she asked for a bunch of information. Like, I don't even know what it would have to do with literally anything. And then she goes, yeah. And then when we meet next week, and I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, yeah, we're supposed to meet every week. And I was like, excuse me? And she was like, oh, were you not informed of this? And I'm like, well, I must have been, and I just forgot. So apparently I was supposed to be with her every week. So I told her, I'm like, well, I'm leaving here on Tuesday, and then I won't be back till January 11th or whatever. She goes, that's a really long time. And I'm like, yeah, I know it is. So now I'm talking with her over the phone come Thursday at some time, but she didn't specify when, so who knows? Okay, well, I will say this. One of the things she asked for specifically was names of my current doctors, their addresses, and then any medication I'm on. So we compiled that list, and then she gave me this paper I had to fill out, and it wanted that information, plus it wanted any like health conditions I have, and it wanted any past significant like events, like surgeries. Fun fact, people, I had like 80,000 different surgeries done to my body. Like the list is insane. Multiple times to the same body part. Like, it's a long list. And I was like, I don't know. So I called my mom, and she was like, I don't know. I gotta dig through old records at this point to find out all that information. So we still gotta get her that. But the meeting could have gone a lot worse. But also, it helped that it was really funny watching her run around like a chicken with her head cut off trying to find me. So meeting ended, and then called my mom again to update her on the meeting, and then by then it was time for me to go to computer logic class. So I went there, and I was still like half an hour early, but I sat in the room at least, and people slowly started to trickle in, and I saw the grade for the exam finally got posted. So I got a 73 on the exam, and my grade overall in the class is an A. So I don't have to take the final on Tuesday, which means I'm most definitely leaving Tuesday, which is great. So I'll get to what I was about to say in a minute. So I left that class after we went over the exam. It's really funny because, like, all the questions, I don't think I did, like, any of them, like, super duper right. But enough partial credit saved my butt, which is great. But then I went and got sushi. And finally, like, right after I was done eating, if not right after, it's pretty soon after, like, I'm sitting there watching an episode of Young Sheldon, and this girl from my science table calls out to me, and I didn't hear her the first time. Well, no, I heard her the first time, but I didn't think she was talking to me. So then she did it again. I looked over, and she comes over, and we start talking. And she's like, what are you watching? And I was telling her what it is. There's Young Sheldon. And I was like, yeah, it's because he literally reminds me of every way. And it reminds me of me. And it's really weird. But it was also really funny. And then I guess there's some kind of Christmas thing going on today, like event. And she was performing in it, like with her violin or whatever. So that's cool. Yeah, it's just conversations like that typically happen to me. But then I came back here, and I Hold on, I think I'm gonna have to pause in a second. Yeah, 1 sec. Alrighty, I think maybe we're good, but also now, man, like, as soon as I resume this, people are gonna start being noisy again. I don't know. So as I was saying, I came back here after dinner, and I studied a little bit for science. I did, like, a few multiple choice question sets. I don't know. No, okay, I think we're good. This is gonna be like my most paused episode ever. Guarantee. Hopped on DVD, got the login reward, and then I've just been binging more of my show. And I washed my face with my like face cleanser because I know you won't care, and that's like super important. But I have my science test tomorrow. Obviously, I feel like it'll go okay, but who knows? And then I've got math on Monday and quantum computing. I know I already said both of these things, but that's pretty much everything. Oh, so just out of curiosity, I opened like the hallway group chat. Nothing of importance was like ever posted there, so I shut off notifications just because it's always just people like asking, like, does anyone have a, I don't know, insert thing they need. So I opened it just for fun. Turns out we had a meeting on the 2nd at 8 p.m. That was mandatory and apparently very important. I imagine it has to do with quiet hours and leaving for the semester, or leaving for winter break. So I didn't go, clearly, because I didn't even know what was happening. I imagine if it was that important, like she said, she's like, well, if you don't come, I can't make sure that you know the information because I'll be studying for my own finals. And it's like, okay, well, if it's not vital enough that you have to come hunt each of us down individually to make sure everybody knows, then it's clearly not as important as you're saying it is. In my personal opinion, that might sound kind of rude, but that's just how I see it. If it's so important that everybody should get to see it, then like post it on a wall or something. That doesn't require us to go to some meeting. Just like stick it around the hallway. I don't. Does that make sense? If it was that important, but also it's not important enough that people miss. Like some people miss because they just like couldn't go, because they had stuff going on. If it's like that important and they just have no other way to get the info because they can't be there, but it's also not like, but you, the advisor, like won't make sure they know this vital information. I mean, for me, I get it because I just didn't go. But for other people who like legitimately like couldn't go for like good reasons, this is why I would just be like, why even do like a meeting? Just like post it around the hallway. I don't like the info, like hang it up on like a bulletin or something. That's my little tangent on these stupid dorm meetings. But I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Especially because people are starting to be noisy now. So yay. As always, if you like what you're listening to, hit like, leave feedback in the comments below, subscribe and turn on post notifications to stay up to date on things I post. I swear I stumble on that every single day. Follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined. Follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined to do so. Link for that is in the description. As always, your support means the world to me. I love you all. Thank you, whoever you are, 20 subscriber. I hope you enjoy the content and aren't just a bot. And as always, and most importantly, I miss my bestie so much. So unbelievably much. And I can't wait until I get to be back in her life. Sorry, I don't know. I miss her a lot today. You guys probably don't believe me, but she was really the best. And I also remember that like a couple days ago, I think I did like my bestie ramble. It was like 30 minutes of me just talking about how awesome she is. It kind of makes me want to do another one, but I don't know. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another ramble. Until then, bye.